I found this quiet spot, still within the city, but without the noise earlier of the tram lines, the metro, the whatever, the shaking of the ground, the people, the loud. Sometimes the sun is so loud. Can you hear the sun sometimes? This may sound mad, but I hope there is a part of your brain that can understand this. But sometimes the sun is so loud. Earlier the sun was so loud and it's shining on the back of me. It's like but it's okay. Yeah, I can just go straight to the point also. Try to go straight to the point also. Earlier I spoke about how the ideas require me to gain balance between the intellect and the emotions before I can discuss them well. That is not always true. In this medium, it is true. In this medium, it is true. That because this is speaking more direct, I guess. A certain kind of direct. Yeah, this particular medium requires me, at least how I feel it, that I can explore ideas more if the balance, if there is a certain degree of balance, that I don't feel like I'm walking on a tightrope between my intellect and my emotions. I feel it should feel like I'm walking at least, yeah, on this, at least this size. I'm standing, I feel like I should walk, the balance should be, yeah, like this, so that I'm not like, so that the words can flow properly. I need to at least have the size of maybe that little random wooden bridge you will find in a forest when there's a stream. Maybe that size of balance I have to have in order for the ideas to flow in this medium properly without the emotions taking over or the intellect taking over. That because sometimes also if there is only, if the intellect is occupying the space that is supposed to be for the emotions, it also feels wrong. It doesn't sound like it's coming from me. It sounds like the voice of somebody else that is very foreign to my throat. So it really has to be that size of a balance, the wooden bridge balance between. Cannot be a tightrope because that's too thin. It can be a tightrope when I'm writing, yes, that's okay. Painting also, yeah. Now we can go to the other mediums, because now I have discussed this video medium. This requires the wooden bridge amount of balance. Wooden bridge in the forest, not the bridge that connects two cities. That's too wide. There's no excitement in there. I really hope I'm being understood, because I feel like I'm speaking in tongues. You get me? I hope you do, really, because this is the most honest way I can say it. But yeah, with writing and painting, I think it's more vibrant or easy or natural if the emotions are more powerful than the intellect, because I can always edit afterwards. Maybe in the editing process I have to balance again the intellect and the emotions, maybe not, I'm not sure, because it also depends on the story, or on the image I'm trying to make, image on the canvas. Depends. It always depends on the what's trying to materialize itself. It always depends. But that's what I noticed with writing and painting. I can be, there's more freedom, because I'm generally more emotion than intellect. There's more freedom in the expression in there, because I don't have to balance. I just have to go, I just have to walk, I just have to fly or do or disappear and let my hands move. Because if there is too much intellect, it's gonna interrupt the thing that it's trying to in the outside world. It's gonna interrupt. With there's another medium that I'm experimenting on. I haven't talked about the other. Yeah, so far we have tried to discuss this video medium, writing and painting. Same goes with filmmaking. I mean this, because this is literally kind of filmmaking. There has to be a balance between the wooden bridge balance. Now I can call it, yes, I can call it wooden bridge balance. That's the discovery of the day. There is tightrope balance and there is wooden bridge balance. Same with filmmaking, because there I am working with people. There I have to have devices on my hands, whether it's camera or the computer, the editing software. I can't always be filled with emotions, because it's not the brush that is in my hand, and it involves other people. Yeah, that's challenging when it comes to creative ideas. Singing, on the other hand, I think out of all the mediums, that's the most I don't I need intellect with the lyrics and the harmony, yes, but that's all. With the performing it or the singing it, I can be all emotions. I feel like that's how it feels. That's how it feels to me. How does it feel to you with your different mediums of creative expression? Does it look like this, or is it very different? But yeah, the ideas, they have life. They are alive still. They are alive. Even if I have done my service to them, they are alive. They are alive. Maybe that's why the song lives on even after the artist dies, or the painting lives on, the impact lives on even after the artist dies. Because a lot of the times I feel like I don't really. When I was young, I thought it's my idea. But now, I realize it's not. It's not my idea. It's just something that creeps or drops on my head or creeps on my spirit, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Or sometimes it's big. Like, sometimes it's on my shoulder, just falls from the sky, or I don't know where it's coming from. On my shoulder, I'm like, what is this? What are you? What do you want from me? I'm minding my business. Can you wait? Sometimes they can wait, sometimes they can't. Or sometimes I'm just walking by a tree, and the tree sometimes give me ideas. Or the ocean. The ocean! Yes, the ocean! Feel like the ocean is the mastermind of this everything. Same as the sky. Not the mastermind of the... Feel like a lot of the ideas are nesting in the ocean. Or in the forest. Or in the sky. They have nests. I feel like these ideas. They have nests. Especially, yeah, in nature. That's where their nest. A lot of them. They also have a nest. Since I'm part of nature, they also have a nest inside my head, or inside your head. Inside everyone's head. There's a nest of ideas there. They can breed there. They can lay eggs and all this. How does the nest of the ideas look like in your head? That's one intriguing thing. Because I can't always see the inner world of the others. How does it look in your head, the nest of the ideas? I can share mine because it's not... I can talk about mine a little bit. It looks like a garden for me. It's a garden. It's a garden of ideas. And it's always harvest time. Sometimes the trees, all of the trees, they bear fruits at the same time. There's always some trees bearing fruit, but sometimes there are some days, like today and yesterday and the other day, maybe. It feels like every tree, every shrub, every vine, it's flowering, and the trees are popping out fruits. The root crops are ready as well. And I'm like, I'm a mere mortal. I'm a mere mortal. I only have 2 hands. I'm the only gardener inside my head. I'm a mere mortal, and or like sometimes I can, of course, I can always act on the ideas. I write them down. That's the easiest. I write them down or make this. Sometimes I don't know if the ideas ever rot, because it seems like they just take on another form. And even though I cannot harvest all of them now, it feels like now I have the image of butterflies inside my head around the trees. They turn into butterflies maybe. Then they lay eggs, then the eggs become caterpillar, then the cocoon, then the butterfly again, and then the cycle continues. Yeah, the ideas don't die. They just change their forms. But yeah, I hope I did justice to this idea. of discussing different mediums and the life of the ideas and the nests. Yeah, thank you as always, and it would be interesting to hear what your inner world looks like. Does it look like a garden as well? Or the deep, dark ocean? Or the forest, or apartment buildings? I don't know. Could be anything. Could be anything. Yeah, see you, and thank you for today. Thank you for today.